Hello there, you gorgeous piece of loveliness. Welcome to So Says Cares. My name's Kerry Ann. Disclaimers, these are just my thoughts and opinions. I speak on behalf of nobody else, and also I swear, I've just done I've just done about 5 minutes and realised I'd not got my microphone out, and I have noticed that there's a huge difference with the microphone. So let's start again. So Leicester's got a new mosque. There was a planning meeting. I'm trying to succinct it. There was a planning meeting last night. The head of the planning meeting, Yasmin something or another, is also the head of some Leicester Muslim organisation. You could not make it up, honestly, on a plate. They are being handed England on a plate, right? And I know it doesn't make sense, right? I know it doesn't make sense. It's not meant to make sense. It's a fucking agenda. As I've said before, these things aren't decided in board meetings. They're decided in lodge meetings, mate. The people who fucking wrote the books for Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, right? And Muslims, right? Basically, they need a civil war in England. That's what they're poking the bear. That's why they're like, look, we're letting over rapists and murderers. Oh, look, they're raping and murdering people. Oh, no, you've got to feel sorry for them. You've got to feel sorry for them. They're fleeing a war-torn country. No, they're paying thousands of pounds that they've just scammed off fucking English people on Facebook. They're chucking their passport in the sea, and they're coming over and being given like stuff for free when people in England are having to do 3 jobs and go to food banks. Do you know what I mean? And what they're earning is going, but actually they're shipping over foreigners for that as well, for work. Right? It's like, old people, we're going to pop the pension age up, but you're not going to be able to get a job because we're shipping in people from other countries because we don't have people to. We've got record unemployment. Well, I don't know that actually, but we do have unemployed people in England, but we've not got people to fill these jobs, so we've got to shift people in from it. Honestly, all of this stuff is by design. All of this stuff is confusing. All of this stuff is a fucking agenda, right? And Leicester is at the minute currently swarmed with mosques. And like, we have one round the corner, the Glen and Ayers Monsell. Like I said, or local councillors knew that it was going to be that, didn't tell the constituency that was so that we could have a proper right to go, like, no, I think not, protest maybe, whatever, right? I found out a couple of weeks before and didn't have couldn't do anything. And then the councillors are like, you've done all you can, let it go now. It's like, no, sorry, I won't let it go, because after that, after I was told to let it go, I went and had a little look at Islam and found that putting a fucking mosque next door to a primary school is a supremely bad idea, because in their religion, they are told that they must emulate Muhammad, who is perfect, and Muhammad married a girl at 6 and took her virginity when she was 9. And I've seen Muslims sit there and defend that, saying she was ready, meaning she was bleeding, because 2 Muslim men, women, all women, but especially like the Muslim ones, they get to have the babies, especially if they're related, right? Even the NHS is joining in, saying like inbreeding, smashing, because it promotes community cohesion. I watched something on YouTube. I just follow where YouTube suggested goes. If it comes up with something that's really random, and I'm like, oh, that looks interesting, I'll go look at that. Some French queen, the most inbred queen or something like this, and the whole family was all completely inbred and whatever. Everybody's like, oh, that fucking wrong turn. Do you know what I mean? The NHS, that just shows you that this is an agenda. The NHS is meant to be about healthcare. Meant to be, right? Remember, these people have been promoting vapes as 95% safer than cigarettes since at least 2018, with no long-term data, right? Obviously, the NHS said something was 100% safe and effective, that has now killed thousands of people. All of us know somebody who's died unexpectedly, had turbo cancer that nobody's even questioning that turbo cancer is a thing now, because it's not on the shiny picture box in the corner of the room that all the furniture's pointing at, and it ain't in the newspaper. We've not been told to think about that. And all of this goes back to school. And school it's not about you remembering it, it's about you being petrified of forgetting it. School is to train your brain to think a certain way, to only believe something if it comes from a place of authority. That's the point of school, not what you learn there. And proof of that, years ago, Ant and Dec did a little test quiz, I think, on Saturday Night Takeaway. Might get the details wrong. But they couldn't remember, like, they answered the questions that these little kiddies were answering these questions, and Ant and Dec hadn't got a clue. I hadn't got a clue. Because you don't remember it when you leave school. You don't remember anything that you learn in school. Onomatopoeia, yeah, but I've relearned that as it's one of those things in school, you know what I mean? But I don't use algebra. Nobody uses fucking algebra, but we have to try and fathom the concept of letters being numbers while we're trying to fathom the concept of why we're getting fucking hair on our foot. And why all of a sudden our emotions are out of fucking control. Because we're not meant to be human. And that comes from up there. And so does Islamism. Now, just so didn't put the old, by the way, a tangent at the beginning, but I do. This is how I work, and I know it can get confusing, but I really need to do my backstory. I need to do a video on my backstory. This is because you'll know why I work the way I work. I put myself on an experiment back in 2007. And so I use my brain in different ways than most people use their brain, which makes me look scatty, and I don't care. But I find it works. It is why I have embraced the ADHD. Never struggled with it when I was little. But I started using my brain in a different way. But that's for a different, but you need to know my backstory. You need to know what's coming for humanity. What I've been told by who them bastards stole the secrets of the universe. It's all very deep. It's all very exciting, but there is something to look forward to. We just don't know it yet because we're caught up in this quagmire of depression. Now, it's quite funny, these ones, the Dark Brothers, did write the books for the Islamic Brotherhood, right? Now, people aren't looking because we're told don't look by people like our local Labour councillors, right? They're like, no, you know, like, no, it's not. And the lucky lady was like, it's not going to happen. Yes, we know that happens, but it's not going to happen there. How do you know? Literally, people need to realise that, like, Muslims and Islam are the same thing. It's like, at the minute in Sudan, Muslims, the religion of peace, are slaughtering a load of people in Sudan. You know how they're slaughtering Christians in Nigeria just for being Christian? Muslims are slaughtering people in Africa for being Christian, for not being Muslim. In Kashmir, last year, they slaughtered 25 people for not being Muslim. In Islam, you join Islam or you die. You leave Islam, you die. Right? It's all about death and the degradation of women. Women are just baby-making machines. Muhammad, the perfect one, had sex with a 9-year-old girl. He had 13 wives, apparently, at one point in time. He had 9 wives when he died, at a ripe old age, right? No respect for women whatsoever, right? And that's how they're taught. And that's how they're going to be taught on my estate. 5 times a day, they're going to pray to be taught, and to be a good Muslim, you have to be degrading to women, find kids attractive, and be violent as fuck, and fight to take over the country you're in. I ain't making that up. I'm not lying. Right? This is what I've learned from taking a look at it. And last night, in this planning meeting, chaired by a Muslim who is like the head of a Muslim charity in Leicester, first one able to put in a vote, aided and abetted by one Patrick Kitterick, who I used to be friends with on my old account. If I'm repeating this, I'm sorry, but I've started this video 3 times now. I used to be friends with Patrick Kitterick on my old account before it was hacked by an African scammer in 2022, because he had the same values as me, because I'm a lefty. Until I found out about this mosque, and then basically researched Islam and found out that nobody Muslim should be in any position of power, because their whole point is taking over a country from inside, right? Right. Till then, I was a raging lefty. I've been fucking pointed and laughed at as the fool, as a raging lefty my whole fucking life. Now, just because I don't want that mosque, I'm a far right thug. I'll take it, mate. I'll take the name racist. I'll take the name Islamophobic. I'm not phobic of Islam, right? I despise it. It's violence. And last Saturday in Tower Hamlets shows you that. Them marching along. Whose streets are streets? And then you've got the people with the fucking stand up to racism banners saying, yeah, we're on the same team. Muslim bloke turning around. No, we fucking ain't. Nobody's on the team of the Muslims. If you're not a Muslim, you ain't on their fucking team. It don't matter how fucking left you are, mate. They're laughing at you. They want to take this country over by force. And last Saturday was a test run. Right? And that is coming to my estate. My estate. And my local Labour ward councillors, Karen Pickering and Elaine Pantlin, have aided and abetted that. Blood on their hands. Don't live here. Not their fucking turf. Doesn't matter. But literally, there are going to be little girls raped here, because that's what in their religion, that's what they're meant to do. But then there'll be Islamists then. Do you know what I mean? Just like in Sudan now, Islamists slaughtering people. In Nigeria, Islamists. It's like, no, they're Muslims. They're the same people. They're all bred the same. They're all told to do the same thing. They all go into a country, and then and I've got like this particular one. Well, I've got a shit ton on video actually. If you want proof, if this is your first time here and you're actually like, what? They're not the religion of peace. No, they're not, mate. They are the opposite of the religion of peace, but they have a word, takia, which means to lie in order to take over from within, which is exactly what they're doing in England. But because we're all stiff British upper lip, oh, what? A cup of tea, darling. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, no, they wouldn't do that, because we wouldn't do that. We judge people based on our own standards. Well, I wouldn't behave like that. I can't get my head around it. Like the video I did on racism yesterday, when I actually watched racism, watched somebody being racist, it was abhorrent to me. It's like, I'll take being called racist. I know I ain't fucking racist. And yesterday I watched a racist, or the day before, watched a racist, and I'm like, I know I ain't fucking like that. And never look at people and think like that. Never look at anybody and think you're less than me because of your colour of your skin. I am not racist. I know that for a fact. But I had it proved to me and whatever. Anyways, I'm sorry. Getting ahead of myself. So yes, Leicester has a new mosque, right? And they had the planning meeting yesterday, and basically there was no sound on it. Apparently there's a little bit of sound, tiniest bit of sound, if you looked really hard. I couldn't be asked. But this Patrick Kitterick, who I like, I remember when I made mates with him on Facebook, and I'm like, yes, at last, a politician who says what I want to hear. Last night, he were there fucking arse-licking Muslims going like, yeah, let's have another mosque. And he said, apparently, that it's next to a leisure centre, right? And he said, like, oh, they can use the parking. Because again, comes down to fucking parking. It's like, oh, yeah, they can use the parking at the leisure centre. Apparently, the parking at the leisure centre is always full. So there's going to be accidents there as well, right? Everybody behind putting through the Glen to the planning permission for the Glen to be turned into a mosque has blood on their hands. Because that is next, and on a really bad tight junction, next to a primary school. And they are going to be praying 5 times a day. 200 men out of nowhere for 26 parking spaces. And and this is how much you can trust the fucking government, mate, and the Muslims, and especially when they come together. It's like, oh yeah, well, we've got bike. They'll all be coming on bikes, right? When you ever seen a Muslim get his fucking dress caught up in weird fucking flip-flops on a bike? Oh yeah, well, all constantly saying goodbye, mate. Muslims in the bike. No, they're going to be turning up in fucking swish cars, mate. Because I'm sorry, but quite a bit of crime. There is quite a bit of crime. Like, because they're giving £30,000 to start up a new business, and a lot of them are fronts for some crime. Oh, I'm so racist, isn't I? Like, it's like, you ask it, it's kind of on the street common knowledge that, like, Turkish barbers are a front for money laundering, that Vietnamese nail bars are fucking people smuggling, and there's another one, but literally, everybody knows that we have shipped in crime from outside of England. Our people toned right down, mate. We used to be a nation of football hooligans. I was fucking ashamed of my country on the world stage, because we'd go everywhere and we'd just kick people in for the fuck of it. People would come over here, we'd just kick them in. We'd go over to somebody else's city and kick them in. Now, all the blokes just sitting there doing no, except for putting flags on, when we're literally actively being invaded by, but they've got machetes. And again, last Saturday, Tower Hamlets, there, whose streets are streets, Allahu Akbar, praying, right? Like mass praying and whatever. And no police. Like, they got weapons. They're all fucking marching on the streets. No police. You get a load of women dressed in pink protesting illegal migrants coming over and raping our kids, which they're told to do by their holy book. There is a passage in their holy book that teaches them how to correctly beat their fucking wife. They're not like us. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, with the that just reminded me, I don't know, did I put that on this video? Was it the one I just did about the I did. It was this one, wasn't it, about the inbreeding, about NHS saying yeah, pandering. We're pandering to a religion that openly says that it wants to take over. And I saw it before. It was fucking hilarious, bless him. Sorry, I shouldn't talk. I shouldn't be condescending. He's better than I am. I've only got half of the intelligence. Like, women are only half intelligent as men. So that's fucking proving it. Women are only half as intelligent as men, according to Islam. Islam in Sudan, Islam in Nigeria. When the religion of peace is slaughtering people, they're Islamists. When they're taking over every fucking closed down pub in England, the Muslims. And they just want a place to pray. Oh, bless them. And all their friends are dead in Gaza. Do you know what? Fuck it. So yeah, we've got another mosque. Yet another mosque in Leicester. Leicester is going to be like Tower Hamlets. And people like Cameron Pickering and Patrick Kittrick are responsible, and they have blood on their hands. when they're marching through our streets, going, whose streets are streets? When Leicester is the new London and Birmingham. Because they have already got London and Birmingham, and now they're getting Leicester, and we're letting them. And we're telling the community, shut the fuck up. You're the bad guys. You're the one being racist and Islamophobic to these poor people. There'll be machetes, there'll be guns stored in that fucking mosque next to a primary school. Weapons caches. The mosques are used for weapons caches quite often. And then you get, they'll you know, when they can't pay for it, they'll set fire to it, like that Muslim chap who set fire to a mosque, which kicked off Keir Starmer giving an extra couple of million to protect the mosques because one of them burnt their own mosque. Yeah. Mark my words, Leicester is fucked. And Patrick Kitterick, Karen Pickering, you have every fucking chance to actually look into this religion and realise what you're backing. Don't listen to fucking Muslims explain it to you because they lie. They are told to lie. It is in their fucking law that it's perfectly okay to lie. They can lie in a court of law with no judgment from their God. They can put their hand on the Quran and they can swear allegiance to fucking everybody, not meaning a fucking word of it. Oh yeah, let's just put this fucking numpty on the end. So there's this geezer in England, English Muslim, like not fucking, it's not, oh yeah, he's an Islamist from fucking Afghanistan, English guy. Or people write to me and say, oh, like what about the crucifix on the English flag? And he's like, yeah, we're going to have to put that, right? You can have a white flag with England written on it. That's allowed. Muslims are going to allow us to have an English flag that's a white flag, which means surrender, just for those who don't know, with England written on it. That's our future. And we are merrily handing it along because we're opening mosques everywhere, put in by planning meetings, chaired by Muslims on Muslim committees, sticking their hand up, allowed to vote for it. The world's gone mad. And I'm sorry for constantly talking about this, but I have to, because nobody is, because everybody's too scared to look. But the facts are right there. They are here to take over. Like that guy who's been promoting violence on the 6th of November at the Maccabi Tel Aviv game at Aston Villa, who's on video saying we're not here to take part, we're here to take over. He's fucking English. Puts it. This is the thing. Put the religion above the country that they live in. But there are some of them now saying that they want to leave England. And eventually they will. They can't take over England. They can't make everybody wear a fucking sheet. They cannot stop everybody eating bacon. They cannot encourage people to have every bit of their meat ritually sacrificed like a goat on an altar on an industrial scale. Do you know what I mean? If people knew how animals were killed for halal, they're like, no, I won't have it. Saying, like, telling Brits, none of you can drink alcohol anymore. Fuck off. And not going to happen. So, I think eventually they'll burn themselves out, but not after killing a load of us. Because civil war has been planned for a long time by them bastards, right? The people who wrote all of these books and made sure that all of them were like, yeah, my God is the only God, kill anybody who disagrees. And then that keeps us all busy down here while they just sit there, shut the big oak door, huge oak door, sit there in your big leather wingback chair, sipping a gin and Dubonnie, smoking a fat Cuban with your finger up a rent boys at that time. Them guys, literally just sat there just so we don't see them. All of this hatred between people. But the people who hate the most are the religion of peace. In fact, we didn't have hatred like this until the religion of peace turned up. And now we've got fucking, and let's not forget, these people coming over on the boats, a lot of them are from the religion of peace. They've done national conscription in their own fucking country, and they're coming over with, and they've had it advertised to them, everything's for free, including the women and children. We just need to educate ourselves. That's all that needs to happen. Like English people of all ethnicities and religions need to realise that we are living through a fucking agenda by evil people, and the evil people ain't the fucking Muslims, mate. It's them bastards up there, and they don't have a religion because they know it's all fucking bollocks. And I'll come back at some point in time with my backstory so you can see where I'm coming from on this, because it might make things make a bit more sense. And it might give some people a little bit of hope. You never do know. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. I've probably left a load of topics off finished. I'm sorry, that is how it works, unfortunately. That's why it's better to converse with people. If you want to talk to me, converse with me. And please consider liking, sharing, subscribing. Heavily shadow banned. They do not like it when you talk about religion. They've got a vested interest in us not knowing what is really going on there. Anyways, thank you for being here. Please come back and never forget that I love you all. Bye.